This is New York One Live at 10. Here's what we're following tonight. Severe weather still causing headaches for travelers ahead of the long holiday weekend. We have team coverage tonight. Plus, President Biden in the tri-state area for a gun safety summit. His message to families impacted by gun violence. And later this Juneteenth weekend, meet a choreographer with a powerful message behind this fancy footwork. Those stories and more happening now on New York One Live at 10. Where both of the city's major airports are experiencing long delays tonight after severe weather this afternoon. We have team coverage. Victoria Manna live at LaGuardia Airport. She's leading us off tonight. Good evening, Victoria.
Yeah, good evening, Cheryl, and not a great day for travelers at all. Lots of delays, lots of cancellations, even up until now. These last few flights that are going out of LaGuardia here, some of them still delayed about 2 hours again because of those thunderstorms we were seeing in the city, forcing a lot of people to find another way to their destination.
That's a headache, a big headache.
Bob Fultano is heading home to Knoxville, Tennessee, or so he thought.
Well, I came in for a 2:30 flight on Delta. That got pushed back to about 5, and then eventually they canceled it. I came over to American hoping to get to Charlotte, going to Knoxville, Tennessee. I would miss that connection, so I just decided to go to Nashville tonight, spend the night, and just take an Uber from Nashville to Knoxville.
Fultano says he's here in the city on business, and after a long day at work, this is the last thing he needs.
I work with some neurosurgeons. I was actually in a surgery this morning helping out a doctor out in Stony Brook. That was my early morning work, and this is my afternoon work trying to get home.
He's not the only one. Thunderstorms Friday caused major delays and cancellations at area airports.
You have a delay, you don't know if it's going to be 10 minutes or 2 hours.
The weather even prompting a complete ground stop at LaGuardia Airport for a few hours, meaning the airport would not receive any inbound flights, leaving many to wait around.
I got in my Uber at around 1 o'clock, and halfway here, I got an alert saying it's now delayed until 5 p.m.
Both Kennedy and LaGuardia airports reported hundreds of delays and cancellations. Some were finding ways to make the best of it.
They have bars at the back, so we'll make something happen somehow.
But for Fultano, he says he has a 3-hour Uber ride to look forward to from his destination to home after this long day of flying.
Now, I know there's some weather, but the accommodations just don't seem to account for the weather factors. And most of the time, the passengers get hurt.
Yeah, and at one point Friday, LaGuardia had over 400 delays and nearly 100 cancellations, while some Saturday morning flights remain delayed both here at LaGuardia and at JFK. Cheryl.
Victoria Manna leading us off tonight. Our team coverage continues now with meteorologist Kaylee Wendt. And Kaylee, so many of these travelers are trying to get out of town for the long holiday weekend.
Yes, and the good news is that any of that severe weather or those intense thunderstorms we saw earlier today are now over with. This is a view over the last 12 hours of our satellite and radar, and you can see how those storms rolled through our region right around 3-4 o'clock. Now tonight, that's obviously not the case. A few scattered showers remain across the area, and more are on the way overnight. Here's what I'm thinking. Our temperature falling to just 62 degrees. Those off and on showers will continue overnight and as we enter into your Saturday. Now, outside of some spotty showers and storms, we're looking at some breezy conditions. Notice sustained winds will be sitting between 10 and 20 miles per hour throughout the day, but gusts are going to peak between that 30 and 40 mile per hour range. So it's something we should continue to watch to see if this will impact travel. The rest of the weekend, we do see significant improvements with sunshine and temperatures in the 80s.
Kaylee, thank you for that. Two other headlines we're following this hour. Developing news in the Bronx right now. Police looking for a suspect who they say, a new report indicates extreme weather in the Southwest is due to human-induced climate change. That according to the research group Climate Central. And we're learning that major cities in Texas and Mexico will start to feel it. Triple-digit temperatures next week. Some areas may hit 110 degrees. Officials in Texas tonight warning residents to be prepared. And with that, let's check in one final time with meteorologist Kaylee Wendt. Here now with the weekend forecast. Hey, Kaylee.
Hey, ironically, next week our temperature is not going to be in the 90s or the triple digits. We're going to be cooler than expected, but that will change by next weekend. For right now, let's get to this weekend's forecast. Scattered showers with us at this point and will stay with us for parts of your Saturday. It's not just a few rain showers you can expect, but those isolated thunderstorms as well throughout the warmest part of the afternoon. So let's say 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Now, as we approach Sunday, Father's Day forecast is looking much nicer than Saturday. Sunshine will be returning. Now, here's a look at lower Manhattan right now. Obviously, I mentioned those drizzly conditions out there. You can see some thick clouds on the sky, but so far, we haven't seen any of those heavier downpours like earlier on today. Temperatures remaining mild at this hour, sitting at 66 in Forest Hill, 65 in Central Park. We're looking at 67 in Park Slope. So overall, pretty mild, and it's going to stay that way as we move throughout the overnight and, of course, on into your Saturday morning. Here's a mix of sun and clouds that you can expect if you're headed out for an early morning run. Temperatures sitting in the low 60s. Maybe you're headed to brunch by 11, 12. Temps back in the low 70s. You notice how clouds are increasing here, and yes, a few of those spotty showers can be expected. But it's really that between 3 and 5 p.m. hour that some heavier downpours and even a thunderstorm or two can't be ruled out. You see them pop up here on our Futurecast model. By day's end Saturday, we do expect things to clear out thanks to an area of high pressure, and that means a nice Sunday is ahead. Our temperature in the Bronx looking at 80 degrees, Queens and Manhattan in the 80s as well. And as promised, a cooler start to next week, but by the time we get to Friday, it's back into the 80s we go.